What is up, everyone? Good morning. Hope y'all had an amazing weekend. Mine wasn't as quite amazing, unfortunately. Just personal circumstances, as most of you know. Still going through some of the stuff with my dad. Well, all of it. He's pretty much on his last legs. So, quick trip back to Phoenix just for the night. And then I was back yesterday in Dallas. So, let's get right to it. Where's everyone joining from this morning? Last week we had some people from some pretty interesting countries, that's for sure. Let's see here. We're going to get straight into some scans. We're going to get into some plans for the morning. Tokyo. I've always wanted to go to Tokyo. I've always wanted to go to Asia. I've never been to Asia. It's one of the continents I haven't been to. That one, Africa. Wakanda. Wow. That's far. Wakanda forever. Okay. Let's see here. Straight into the scans this morning. Well, actually, no, not straight into the scans. Straight into, first of all, let's talk some trading process, okay? Let's talk some macro. Let's talk a little bit of macro first. Overall markets. We got a little gap down for now. We got to get through last week. This is the Qs, just the ETF that trades that tracks basically NASDAQ stocks. You can see kind of a pretty solid downtrend forming right now, pressing near some of the lows from the recent lows. We've had this little bit of support in the 350s, just overall in the overall markets on the Qs. On SPY, same idea, gapping down now to the 419s, okay? Through this recent bit of support that we've had, through these recent lows. So kind of keeping that in mind, but throughout this entire period of time, what matters more to me in terms of process? Small cap. What's been going on with small cap? And the truth is, small cap's been phenomenal, okay? Small cap's been phenomenal in terms of what we have seen. What we have seen are massive runners in small cap lately. And most of them in this price range of sub $1, you guys, okay? Now, there's a lot of them. They're penny stocks, right? Essentially. But when they're moving with this kind of volatility, but most importantly, volume, okay? Most importantly, volume. These things can move hundreds of thousands of percentages. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. Just like we saw in TPST, that really spurred off this whole thing. That being said, last week, if you go back to last week's prep, I think it was on Tuesday. Maybe we traded Wednesday. Definitely, no matter what you do at some point this week, you should go back and watch the live stream from last week, okay? The live stream from last week was fire. I did a full masterclass, okay? We did a full masterclass. It wasn't like just pre-market prep like today's going to be. We did live trading for a couple hours. I think it's like 2.5 hours or something like that. Let me find it. Yeah. Sorry, 1 second, y'all. It is, there. This one right here. All right. I would definitely go back whenever you get a chance and watch this one at some point this week because it's, there's a lot of information in it. I dropped so much about pre-market process and then the actual trading process, risk reward, strategies, how to scale out, all that kind of stuff is all in there. So let's see here. So last week, a little bit slower in terms of the scan and stuff. I still managed to make like $24,000 last week, based specifically off ICU for the most part. Was one of the bigger trades, and then I had some swing trades as well that worked really nicely last week. But ICU, I had a picture perfect trade on this. missed the morning reversal, but had a picture perfect afternoon reversal, which I go through all. Sorry, one sec. I'm going to drop some of that live footage this week as well for you guys. So if you're not, make sure to hit the like, make sure you're subscribed, so that you don't miss, because we're going to drop some more live trading videos on you. We've got ICU. I was dip buying here in the 60-cent range last week. They had a nice catalyst. They had a really nice catalyst. So I ended up with 20,000 shares with 1 or 2 cents risk here, guys. To put that into perspective, 20,000 shares with 1 penny risk is $200 risk. And then every penny it goes up or down, obviously it's going to be $200. So I ended up selling that into these highs on Friday afternoon, or I'm sorry, on the 18th into the afternoon. And then I held some shares, sold them into the gap up for 100% the next morning, and then bought the dip and then sold those into the perk and a little bit here after hours. And that's all. So it was a really, really, really nice trade here. But it's taking advantage. This was also a breakout, by the way. So I had placed myself for the breakout down here as opposed to trading the breakout. And then I did trade on the bounce the next day, but that's pretty much it, like I mentioned. So pretty phenomenal there. Pretty phenomenal move. And yeah, it was just awesome. I live trade these every day for the pack. If you're in my pack, if you're my student, I do this every single morning. We trade for 1-2 hours every morning, and then we do power hour. And I keep telling them the reason is so they can see my amazing trading like last week. And even through that trading last week, you guys, even through that trading, like I wasn't perfect. I had some fat fingers. There was a lot of shit that went on last week. I could have made a lot more. I could have made less. Okay. They got to see me honestly at what I feel was my best trading last week, every single day, even through the mistakes, pushing through the mistakes. And last week, they got to see me every day last week, which was a shit show of a week where I still ended up making, I don't know, $10,000, $15,000 at the end of the week. But throughout the rest of that week, they got to see me battle through overnights that didn't work, down $3,000 going into the morning, and then having to not battle back because I don't take that mentality, but trade objectively and find the next trade and find the next trade and find the next trade. Not revenge trading. Huge difference. But if I were to revenge trade, they get to see that happen live and how I would deal with that. So that's the whole point. That's why I do this every single day for them, because anyone can trade well for an hour a week. Anyone can. Okay. Today, let's see. We still got 20 minutes before market open. If you've never joined me, specifically Monday mornings, I like to let things shake out a little bit. All right. Specifically Monday mornings, I like to let things shake because I'm not quite sure what the week's going to bring. Okay. I'm not quite sure what the week's going to bring, but getting into my scan, I can tell you we're already into some bottom bouncers here. This LMDX should get people really, really, really jazzed on 10, 8, 10 cent stocks. This is how the stock market works. Okay, you guys, this is how the stock market works. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my scan. For those who have never been with me, there's no magic in scanning. The magic is in the experience, the person who's looking at the scan, what you see, how to find the next one, how to find the next one, how to find the next one. That's the magic, okay? Anyone who's trying to sell you that they have scans that are going to show you which plays work and don't are full of dog shit, in my opinion. Anyone who's trying to sell you the fact that you get to see their scanners, full of dog shit. They're just trying to prey on the fact that you're broke and don't want to pay for your own scanner, all right? Which is fine, whatever, teach their own. But there's nothing proprietary or anything amazing about any scanning software or system, in my opinion. Anyone who's telling you like it's algorithmic and there's all these things and they're just trying to feed the fact that you guys suck at trading and you need picks. I don't care who it is. Anyone that's alerting anything, doing anything like that, that's what they're trying to do. They're marketers and they are trying to appeal to your human nature. Your want for money, your want for picks, and then they're also playing against your ignorance. They're using your ignorance against you. Listen, man, those of you who are here and don't know anything and are just starting trading or have sucked at trading for a long time, that is 99% of what you're going to come across are people preying on your ignorance, okay? I really hope this makes sense to you. When you don't know anything about trading, it's so easy for someone to like just point a bunch of shit out on a chart and it sounds good to you and you don't know any better. That's why I hate this space so much, and I love it. And it's why I'm live right now, because I wanted more information out there that's not that, okay? I'm trying to help people find these plays without me, and they have been. You know, my students, tell you what. Yeah, I'm talking about all the trading rooms who sell their watch list picks. I'm not just picks. I'm talking about alerts. I'm talking about the algorithms, the people who are trying to sell you algorithms or algorithmic anything, acting like it's going to help your retail trading. It's not, I promise. It's just going to give you ideas that aren't yours that you don't need. Sorry, I rant a lot. Get pissed off. All I do is I've been intaking a lot of social, and it's just makes me sick. It's always been bad, our space, but it's worse than ever, as you guys know. You don't need picks. Anyways, there's nothing on my scan. All right, I scan by $50,000 volume pre-market. I scan by 5% change, and that's fucking it. There's nothing else. And guess how many stocks I have this morning? Only 30. So now what do? I got to whittle away at that 30. So how would I do that? Okay, how would I do that? Well, I can tell you. And if you look at it, this scan includes big cap. This is not a small cap scan, you guys. This is a scan for what are the biggest top percent gainers in the market today. On $50,000 volume. It's nothing. It's one position for me. It's one position size. Could just be me buying it. Okay? So that gives me 30 stocks. Now let's see what's actually liquid this morning that I could trade if I wanted to place a trade right now, because $50,000, not quite enough liquid pre-market. Let's go to 250. Okay, now 17. That's a reasonable number. Okay? It's a reasonable number. Let's start with LMDX, okay? We're just going to go straight down the scan. If we wanted to get even more specific, okay? Last week what ran? Well, ICU, another 60. Let's see. ICU went from 15 cents to $1.20 last week. Only almost 1,000%, no big deal, right? ICU. Not just last week, but over the last month or so. It's one of those huge multi-week gappers and then breakouts. So really what I'm going to be doing, if I'm being smart, because what I'm trying to do is volume will go to the next play, to the next play, to the next play. It's called sympathy plays. It's where I've made almost all my money. That sector momentum, first green day gappers that go ballistic, that volume will bleed into other areas. And those next plays, generally speaking, don't go as far, but they'll still go far. So that's kind of the beautiful part about it. So now what will I do? Well, if you're being really smart and you're trying to find what's going to run next and not what's already ran, I'm going to probably cap it at $1. That's going to spit out what, 5 stocks for me now? Does that make sense? Please let me know in chat if that makes sense. If it's 20-cent stocks running, I only want to be looking at 20-cent stocks. I only want to be looking at 15-cent stocks. This is how I narrow down my scan in the morning, okay? Now, I'm doing this for you visually so you can see it, okay? So you can see how I would end up with 5 stocks and be hopefully in the right ballpark. If last week a $2 stock went to 20 and then a $2 stock went to 10, what would I be looking for this morning? I'd be scanning, maybe my scan would look like something like this. I would scan from like 0 to 3. And that would spit out 13 stocks because I also want to see $2 and $3 stocks. Please let me know if that makes sense in chat, you guys. It's so, so important. All right. We have to put our eyes in the right place. And it gets very, very confusing when there are a shit ton of stocks. Go back and watch the last stream, by the way, anything that you can find, because this is the main thing that I teach. The main things that I teach are, I teach people how to buy low, sell high. So I get people immediately to change their perspectives. That's my first goal, to get you guys to understand weakness. And finding low reversals off lows is the only way to trade this game. It's the only way to trade small cap, in my opinion. It's the best fucking risk reward you can find from lows to highs. Okay? Same things I preach all the time. The reason I'm able to trade ICU, even though it's a little bit extended last week, on 20,000 shares on size with a few pennies risk. Okay? And then if the stock goes $1, I can make 20 grand. If I have 20,000 shares and I'm risking 2 pennies, I'm risking $400 or so, give or take slippage. And if it moves $1, I make $20,000. Does that make sense, you guys? Maximize risk reward. This is the whole point of why I play this game. If not, I go to the casino. If I want to play blackjack, if I want 1-to-1, I go to the fucking casino, guys. That's more fun. Okay? At least there's like free drinks and shit there. You know what I mean? Anyways, let's get into the tickers now. Sorry, I've been spending a bit of time. But when I do these lives, I don't have to, you know, I'm live with my group every day, so they understand. And the Wolfpack, they understand my process, or are beginning to. But for you guys who are not with me, and I don't have that much time with you guys each week, it just behooves you to understand this stuff, man. It just behooves you to understand this stuff. How to narrow down the stocks, where volume's going to go, and why. Okay? You can't just trade technical analysis. You can't just look at any chart and trade them. You need a why. You need a macro. So what's the macro and small cap right now? The macro and small cap is that we have 10 and 20 cent stocks going to $1, $2, $3, $5. Look at this. ICU went from 10 cents to $1.20, guys. Do you know how powerful that is? You can't buy that many fucking shares with a small account. And when it's at $1, $2, $3, $5, $10, $20, you can't trade big cap on a tiny account. There's no reason to trade big cap on a small account. It makes 0 sense. I don't know why people come in. It's basic math. Okay? It's basic math. These stocks have the biggest percent gain and are the cheapest. And they are the only ones running right now. But small cap gets such a bad rap because people come here and it is scammy and you don't know what to do and you chase and then you lose 80, 90, 95% of your money on a trade. That's not the point. The whole point is that you can make 1,000%, technically speaking. Okay? That's the whole point, is that you can make 100, 200, 300% on your money, more than 1-to-1. I can get 2-to-1, 5-to-1, 10-to-1. So last week, splits. We've still been seeing reverse splits and bottom bouncers, and I've been saying this for how long? Tell me in chat if someone knows. All fucking year. Okay? Bottom bouncer splits. It's all been trading all year. Sector momentum. Sympathy plays. They've been hot and heavy and awesome. Okay? But again, when we have stocks, like I said, that are going from 20 cents to $10 intraday, okay? Or your ICUs, you got to take advantage of the scenario. It's not that easy. You know why? Here's the reason it's not quite that easy right now. If we go to my scan and take away everything like we did during the last live webinar and cap it at $1, we've got a good 550 stocks, listed stocks trading under $1. They're all going to have to split. Does that make sense? So, anyways, let's get into today's trades. That's what's most important. Okay. First of all, let's get into this morning's scan, which is LMDX. This is what I would do if I were on my own right now. Perfect bottom bouncer. It's faded from, let's see, it's faded off of 40 cents, 30 cents over the last couple weeks. Straight fade from 30 cents to 8. They're already back here at 34 cents. So to me, the bulk of this trade's gone. It's gapping up too high for me. I hope it rips balls. That's what I want. I want this to go to $1 today and be like 1,000% gainer, right? We can already see my scan kind of filling up with 5-cent stocks. Let me change my volume back. LMDX, they have news or they don't. I don't see news there. Oh, I do. Yep. On the 20th, which was Friday, they mentioned AstraZeneca and Everton and Lumira partner up to set up their first heart and lung screening hub. That is the PR. Okay. It doesn't really matter what the PR is. It's okay. It's a decent PR. Really extended. No real ideas here for me to trade it. I'll just start kind of looking at pre-market levels. Got to also look at the daily and see if they gap down at all recently. That's the biggest part of my process. Or big volume days, which would be something like this. Not huge volume. This morning, for example, it's already doing $20 million volume, which is going to be a lot of shares, right? 71 million shares, okay? So you always have to think about this. If you're pre-market, and I'm looking at volume, I'm doing volume analysis. Okay, well, pre-market, we've done what? 70 million shares. This is going to do a fuck ton of shares today. It's going to trade way more shares today than it's ever traded and may ever trade again. Does that make sense, you guys? Does that make sense? If you're enjoying this, please smash that like. Helps a lot with the algos. With the YouTube algorithm. Try to help some more traders out here get away from all the bullshit. INVO would be our second top percent gainer this morning. They also had news. Definitive merger agreement to establish expanded publicly traded life science company. So M&A news there on INVO, gapping up big to the $1.50s. Okay. Low float there. Bigger float on LMDX. But again, remember, when people are trading, okay, you have to remember, and here's another very important part of how bottom bouncers work. Okay, guys? Super important. When I'm trading a stock at 8 cents, I am grabbing 100,000 shares of it at $8,000. Right? 100,000 shares of it at $8,000. I'm sorry. 100,000 shares at 8 cents. It's $8,000. 100,000 shares at $1 is $100,000, guys. All right? 100,000 shares at... So, in other words, when people trade bottom bouncers, they're trading a lot of shares. That's why you see massive, massive volume. But it's not necessarily a lot of as much dollar volume as you would think. Which is why I like to watch dollar volume and volume. Okay? And the dollar volume, to me, has always been the better kind of gauge as to the amount of money that's gone through the stock. Does that make sense? 8 minutes. Oh. Sorry. Oh. Spilled coffee. Right directly, just like a small smidge. Straight onto my phone screen. Okay. Let's see. LMDX, INVO, gapping up 200% already. Another bottom bouncer. AKU's popping right now as we speak. Another bottom bouncer. Through highs, where all the noobs like to buy. I won't buy that. The only thing I see on AKU is a pullback towards 21 or 20 kind of areas for a buy. Then sell back into highs. You can get decent risk reward and still make 20, 30% there. Sure, you guys are good in there. I'll tell you, one of the biggest watches for me are going to be like PRZO this week. Hub C again, the Israeli stocks. It's not done yet over there. You know, it's not done yet. I've still got the rest of this swing. I've got 25,000 shares left. I locked a bunch last week. You know, I made like $8,000 or something on the first half of this position already on Hub C. On the first 40,000 shares, I've only got 25,000 left. So I'll be swinging the rest of this, but I wouldn't sleep on PRZO, Hub C this week for potential bounces, especially if we see boots on the ground this week. I've heard some rumors and stuff like that. So that's my biggest macro idea right now is that sector still. I had kind of this weird feeling. I was reading some stuff this weekend, and I'm gonna try to add to all that if I can at some point. I'm not sure exactly where, when, but I'll be watching that this morning and throughout the week and kind of monitoring the situation in Israel and Palestine. AKU, AULT's on the scan this morning. Another real dog shit stock that's been fading really hard recently. This is what toxic dilution looks like, you guys, most of the time. If they do a split and just straight fade, they did a 1 for 300 split, you guys, to 20 bucks, and they're back at 14 cents. That's them just, I guarantee you. Let's go look real fast before. Damn it, we're running out of time, y'all. 5 minutes. If we get enough likes, I'll do a power hour prep like I do for my students every day. We'll do one of those this week too. End of the week, we've got Vegas. If anyone wants to come to Vegas, Saturday and Sunday, I got, I think 5 spots left. We'll be at the Palazzo. I've got a room block for $100 a night or whatever there. It's going to be an awesome session. We're doing mostly psychological work. We're going to get into strategy and process, so it's going to be really cool. If you want to hit that, rwtrades.com, or you can hit this QR code at the bottom right-hand corner as well. Okay. INPX, another bottom bouncer here. Actually, you know what we need to hit? Yeah, I guess we could do that really, really fast. I will. I got you. Yeah, I'll get that in the Vegas Discord for sure. Quick check. It says high risk on Lumira. They have negative 1 month of cash left. Quarterly cash burn of 27 mil and current cash of negative 10. Some SPAC warrants, convertible note. They're probably going to do an offering at some point if they don't already. They don't have too much left. Big ass float already. There's not big overhead supply at the moment, but they're big risk. So that's good to know, actually. LMDX, not too dilutive at the moment. I'm going to plug in these other tickers here quickly. INVO real fast. Overall risk medium. Offering ability is pretty low. That's good. 285 pricing on their July 23rd offering. 285, 285, 1020 full ratchet 285s. 20 cents March 23rd pre-funded warrants, 20-cent exercise, convertible notes, not registered, nothing there. So INVO, yeah, they do have some warrants and stuff. It looks like in the 280s on INVO. They're gapping up to the 1s right now, 150s, and this is exactly what this gap down's from, okay? So whenever I go to a chart, that's the first thing I look for. Gap downs, big volume days, they'll generally tell you they're an offering. Look, they did a split too on this day, and it ran, and then they did their offering. So sure enough, there's warrants on INVO in the 2s. It's good to know. Right now, it's only in the 1s. LMDX is pretty clean for now, but they will do an offering at some point because they need cash, right? AKU. Low risk on AKU at the moment, according to dilution tracker. All right, that's good enough for me. So those are kind of the main tickers for the morning as of now, but damn, only 1 minute left till market open, you guys. If you're in my wolf pack, my alpha people, will be going live Webby here. Well, we'll do in like 2 or 3 minutes. I don't want to rush off of the stream yet. For the rest of you, thank you so much for joining. I would definitely watch the last videos. I'm going to be putting out a ton of stuff, so make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you smash the like. Hopefully, I'm helping change some perspective out here in YouTube land. Whether or not people are joining us in the pack, I don't care. Hopefully, some of you are going to find your way to better ways of trading through some of these streams. So if that's the case, let me know. Let me know in chat if these are helping. Let me know down below if these are helping. Always feel free to reach out to me, Roland at rwtrades.com. I've been doing just a shit ton of teaching. It's all I do all day. So any questions? Any questions? Harp? Did they just split? Yeah, let's just check. We'll check really quick before we bail out together since it is Monday. We'll check quickly through the splits. Are all the ones that are in progress or priced at the moment or withdrawn. So many upcoming splits, you guys. I showed you there are 500 stocks on my scan under a buck. There are 500 stocks that need to do a split right now, technically speaking. Drawn, priced. All the splits. Oops, those are S1s. That's why. It's like, what the hell am I looking at here? Vote approved. You can see all these approved ones. Here are the specifically upcoming ones. So this is really important, you guys. If you're not using this, I have this TT there. It's at the, I think it's in the description of this video, even at the bottom. But this is what I use. So I'll know that there's these splits coming up soon, right? I don't want to be long overnight bottom bouncers when they're doing splits at all. Definitely don't want to do that. But I in VO straight halt up means I'm ignoring it for now. The only move is first pullback. It's got to come all the way back towards low of day for me to trade it like a $1.50. And that's when it seems scary to everyone. $1.48, $1.47, $1.46. And it'd have to be kind of quick this morning. So I'm not looking to chase that. I'm not really looking to chase anything. LMDX tiny pull and push back towards high day for now. Monday mornings especially, I'm not trading for like 10, 15 minutes anyway. So I'm going to let everything shake out for a little bit this morning. TGH, AULT, INPX, etc. I'm going to have eyes on everything I need to see. Anything that's just spiking, spikes without me, no big deal. All right, y'all. We are going to wrap this one up. I got to get to my people. If you are a Wolfpack member, I will see you in the Discord right now under, where are we going to be? I think Wolf Stage this morning, right? So if you're here with me, it'll be right here, right now. Catch you there. Everyone, thank you so much for joining this morning. We will catch you guys next week for pre-market prep. Stay safe.